Hi, Nancy. How are you? How was your weekend? Thank you. This was the one I did Thursday with watercolors, just to show you that you could add a little color if you had watercolors, or if you have construction paper, you could certainly use construction paper. Just playing around here right now till a few people hop on, and then we'll get started. We'll have a few on. Welcome, everyone. It's 4 o'clock. I am Jess Campbell, your friendly education coordinator with Southern Alleghenies Museum of Art. And this was a piece I started on Friday, just to show you that you could use a colored background. I used watercolor, and I'm using my micron pen, and just adding some designs. Really nothing planned, just kind of going as I feel. Thanks, Kylie. Oh yeah, we do start in black and white. I guess I never really thought about it. Hi everyone who's watching, welcome. Today is Monday. I hope you all had an enjoyable weekend. We had a beautiful, beautiful day yesterday. The sun is shining now. It's a little chillier out there today though. But I'm proud to say I have clothes hanging on the line because it's such a windy day here where I live. So I put my bed sheets out on the line. Again, this is where we kind of started or left off on Friday. Don't be afraid to venture and try some Zentangles on colored paper, okay? It's always nice to add color. This was one of the first ones I did. Just paper and micron pen and some watercolor. I did mount it on black paper, just because I wanted to see what it would look like. So I was, playing around, experimenting. So there you have it. Don't be afraid to add color, everyone. Although I am a sucker for black and white, I have to say. Hi, Fred. You were certainly trying. So Fred brings up a good point. We're trying to engage our communities and bring activities, via your computer. So make sure to follow Sama Ligonier, Sama Bedford, Sama Altoona, and Sama Loretto for upcoming art activities. Zentangles seem to be going well, so I'm going to stick with those for a while. And Sama Bedford, they've got all kinds of stuff going on, live 1 o'clock every day. Sama Altoona is 2 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday. And Sama Ligonier is just offering some, virtual artist introductions and a photography class with Kelly Corsi Gray. They're releasing it. I'm not sure if they have a timeline. I apologize, but I can definitely get you that information if you want. Here's what we did on Thursday. Gave you a quick little intro to drawing lesson and our 3 tangles. You can see here, and I have a couple for you today, so we will get started. Again, I don't ever seem to have I've got so much stuff going on my desk, which is a great problem to have. Lots of art projects going on these days. So we are Zentangling, which is the art of drawing structured patterns to create beautiful artwork. It can be very therapeutic and relaxing, so that's what I'm hoping for, and that's why I am here. So it's just the art of creating, structured patterns, or patterns using these structured tangles. So if everyone has their stuff ready, we'll get started. I had about a 4-minute intro there. Say it's time to get to work. So as always, we always start out with our border. Uitruvis is what I want to say. Uitruvis. I'm not sure how you want to say that. Your guess is as good as mine. This pattern I like. It's fun, pretty easy. So get your paper and your pencil ready. So our first step, I'm not sure what to tell you. We're going to draw a series of circles. So fill up your border with circles. You can do different sizes. I didn't mean to overlap there, but that's okay. So fill up your border with various circles. And if you don't want to fill up the whole thing, you don't have to. This is kind of a cool little pattern. I think it's fairly easy. You know, don't forget to leave yourself some spaces there. It's a good opportunity to color it in. And I think I'll quit there. They all fit pretty well. Hi, Patricia. Welcome back. So once you get circles through there, now if you want, and you do have some spaces, you know, don't be afraid to add some half circles, partial circles, you know, to fill up your space. Okay. Now, once you do that, our next step is to go in and add a square into each circle. All right. So now that I had you draw all those circles, I want you to fill them all up with squares. Okay. Now when you come to these half or partial, you know, do whatever you think is best. Remember, there's no right or wrong way. And using your eraser is not encouraged, although I do it, so I can't tell you not to use it. I think this is why I start in pencil. I actually told myself I was going to use a micron pen to start, and I kind of forgot. Maybe for the next one. So once you're done, and you have all your squares in, I'll give everyone a sec to catch up. Or maybe you're waiting for me, who knows? Okay. Oh, I missed one. Hey, Kelly. Appreciate y'all joining in today. All right, so our next step for this one is we're going to add a circle. Now you're going to go in that square and add a circle. This one I like. It's just kind of repetitive. Although your shapes are getting a little smaller. There I have about a quarter of a circle. And my squares don't really look like squares. They look more like rectangles, but that's okay. Not a big deal. It's not going to hurt anything. Again, this is your pattern, your tangle. I hope to see you, using it in your own artwork or creating your own tangles. Now, one more step. This is the final one, I promise. So what we're going to do, I'm going to turn my paper. And what we're going to do is, so I'm going to turn a little bit more. We're going to add another square. Now what you want, I'll turn my notebook back, kind of like a diamond pattern. I'm a little off on this one, so maybe I'll keep my notebook. That works. Kind of a little diamond pattern. You just want your square, or in my case rectangle, to be a little off. This isn't too bad of a one. Oops, I forgot my circle there. There we go. So go through and add, I'll say your diamond. Oops. I got my notebook in the way. And then I'll show you what else we could do to this one. Now this one's a little more time consuming, but not difficult by any means. Except for you might miss a couple here and there. There we go. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to grab one of my micron pens. So there's one thing that you could do. Don't be afraid to say hi if you're on and you're watching. So I'm just going to outline this one real quick. So we've been talking about adding, depth and dimension to, some of our tangles. So this is a case where I have a puppy waiting outside my door. He doesn't like that I shut him out. So this is a case where you could take your pencil and add a little bit of shading, kind of how we did with our circle last week. You have that C shape. Okay. You could go and do that. If you wanted. I have my handy dandy tortillon, or again, you could twist up a piece of tissue or paper towel if you wanted. If you could do something like that. The other thing that you could do to really make these pop is you could color in the negative spaces. And by negative space, I mean the areas that don't have a pattern, or the space in between the patterns or designs that you might have. We've done this before, so you could do that. And that could really help make your design pop too. I mean, you can even just use a black pen if you wanted. But over time, it probably would fade. Okay. So that's it. That's it for our first design. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, we'll move on to the next one. Our next one, we'll do the same. We're going to start with our border. Whoops. There we go. I'm using my eraser already. I made it through the first one without using it though. So I have my border. And this one is called Courant. As always, I like to write the names above for you. That way if you pop on later and watch them, you have them, or you can label them in your own notebook. The one thing that I did not do, it's May 4th, 2020. So any Star Wars fans out there, may the 4th be with you. We watched episode 9 this morning. My son's a Star Wars fan. But it was nice because we watched it and it, reminded me of my sister-in-law and her husband. They're big Disney, big Star Wars fans. So for Courant, you do not have to do exactly what I'm doing, but we're going to draw one big continuous string. Now, if you don't remember what strings are, I will show you. When we first started out, we drew strings. We drew two strings to give us 4 sections. And then in this case, I drew a string here and a string here to give me 3 areas. So strings are kind of dividers and give you different areas to create different patterns. So I'm going to draw one big continuous string. Now this pattern is great because you could really use it to fill in anywhere. Let me see here. Let's do this. And whoop, we'll bring it up. Maybe that's how we'll finish off. Ignore my little whoops there. So if you want to draw something like that, you can, or you can draw your own, and you can see once I start showing you the pattern here, how you can adapt it to anything. I'm going to take a sip of iced tea real quick. Still drinking sweet tea, so we don't have to go to the grocery store and buy iced tea as much as we used to. It's nice not having to run to the store all the time, I was guilty of doing that. So one good thing has come from this, not running to the store all the time. All right, back to our design. I will start with this big section. Now you don't have to start on a line. I kind of left a gap there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow this pattern. Now I'm pausing. You don't have to pause if you don't want. Pausing so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to pause there and then kind of think of it as making a little maze. Now you could be closer together if you want. You could spread it out a little farther too if you wanted. It might all depend on the design you're working with or what you want to do. Maybe you start out wide. Ta-da! So I don't actually even close it off. I just kind of stop. And then we'll go and do similar patterns in all of our little areas here. So maybe this one, I'll start here and bring it over almost like a cone shape. And I'll just continue till it gets full. And then I will pop up here. Now here I have like a teardrop shape. So I'm just going to loop it around until I get to the center. And then I'll stop. Up here, let's see, I might just go down here like this. And then maybe I'll curve around there. So I like this pattern because you can really make it fit your own. Maybe I'll stop there. It's just a matter of creating a string and filling it in. So again, you kind of have, this organic patterns. I guess somewhat linear and organic combined. They just all have an organic feel to them, but they're all visually very different. So let's start here. And I think you guys probably get the hint, but we'll finish this off anyway because I've been on my computer most of the day and I feel like I need to relax. So you can even see how sometimes your pattern might change as you start drawing it. And then I'll just do a little one here just to fill the space. Simple as that, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I should say. I have a bad habit of saying guys. I apologize. So that is Courant. Our next one, I'll hop over here and Let's see if I can keep them both in view for you if you still want to reference that. And I'm going to draw our border. And again, you know, mine aren't perfect by any means, but I'm just showing you patterns that you can use. Oops. Okay, this is Sedgling. Your guess again is as good as mine. This one I like too. It is very reminiscent of a pattern that we did a while ago. Let's see if I can find it. Not sure. Looking through my notes. I cannot find it. I don't want to hold you. But we've done a similar one before, and I have used it. So this will probably be very, very familiar to you all. So we're going to start with, I'll get my bookmark out of the way. So let's just start with 2 sets of lines, and then we're going to close them off, and you can bring your line over a little bit if you want. And then for this one, we might curve up a little bit. And easy. This is almost like a spiral. And I'll show you. So you could start from the very edge of this line that you drew. And we're going to continue, but break where that stem is, if that's what you want to call it. I think I'll do one more loop around. Okay, so you're basically doing a spiral, but carrying it behind that stem. So let's go do this one again. Start with your little line there that you created. Now you could get real close together if you want, or you could spread it out a little farther. Let's go one more time. Just take it nice and slow. There you go. Let's throw 2 more in here. Let's bring this one up, and let's bring one from the corner here. And draw our line across. And let's do this one. Now, again, just taking it behind. Oh, mine's getting a little wide there. That's okay. No right or wrong. And mine actually is going to cut off of that border a little bit, but I'll still finish it anyway. And then I'll go and do this one. So starting off the edge and coming around. And I might make this one a little smaller. And we'll stop right there. Now you could go in and fill this pattern up if you want. If you wanted to, you could give yourself a little bit of shading there, where the stem is. You could blend it with your finger. If you don't want to get dirty, you could use your tissue or tortillon if you happen to find one. You could do that. You don't have to. Again, you know, it looks really sharp once you, if you do it in black and white. Just always seems to bring it to life. Okay, that is all I have for you today. What you could do if you want to practice, you could put together a composition using these 3 if you wanted a little bit more practice. And I don't have any I don't think I have any new ones. I have a couple I think I finished. I don't know if I shared this one with you. Not sure how you want to look at that. No, I did finish that one. You can hear my dogs barking. They want dinner. Just a little bit of graphite to it for a little bit of detail. Dogs really want dinner. Here was the one I was talking about that mimics the Sedgling that we did. I just can't think of the name right now. So, you know, we've seen this pattern before, and they were easy today, Kelly. Good ones to hopefully, you know, practice with and ease into Monday with, is what I like to think. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, and we have a YouTube channel, Sama Art Online, if you want to check out any other classes. I will sign off today and keep you from hearing my dogs barking for dinner time. Thanks, Patricia. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone being here. You know, I look forward to this part of my day. It's fun, and it's a designated time to do some artwork and share it with some wonderful people. So have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Okay. Thanks, everyone.